Video has
We love those
started.
stores. All right. And you got us all where we want to be.
I didn't really check that.
Nice.
I was going through the patch notes.
Welcome, challengers, to Battleground of the Gods, a Smite podcast. I'm your host, Step Nation, and joining me today, we have Fro Double G.
I fucking love cotton candy grapes.
Nevea03.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
And Riggs.
My boys done did it.
Hey.
They done fucked around and won a world championship.
I heard that Captain Twig has a massive cock.
He may or may not have a massive cock.
There was some young lad running around the event with a sign that said that.
That young lad may or may not have gotten a picture with Captain Twig.
Oh, hell yeah.
Holding said sign.
Holding said sign.
That says he has a massive cock.
Hell yeah. Sounds like a true champion right there.
Yeah, and then that same lad may have also gotten recognized by the team after they won Worlds when they were coming out as well.
Yeah.
Because of said sign.
Nice. Did they notice it on stage or something?
No,
Did
I
someone
never
point it
asked.
out?
I don't think so, because I was pretty far back. I did try to run up at the end and
Oh,
show it,
oh,
but
oh.
I mean, I don't remember.
So you mean at
Or
the end,
sorry,
like
sorry,
when you and I
young
were hanging
lad.
out there, they're like, oh, you're the one with the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Got it,
walked
got
up
it.
to
Yeah,
them
yeah.
after, and they were all coming out. Yeah, and
He
they were like,
probably
yeah,
told them. He probably said, like, hey, there's this guy out there that has a sign that says I have a massive cock.
Genetics
Gotta
was
win.
like, yeah, I remember you, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, and then fucking the world's MVP, dude.
Hell yeah.
That young lad may or may not have been me. I don't know if the jury's not out yet. Who knows?
Nobody knows. The rig's holding the sign. Yeah.
Yeah, it was worlds, baby.
Well, speaking of worlds, you three were there. Get to
Yup.
it. Tell me
Yup.
all about it. All the things I missed.
Dude, Nev is short as fuck.
Yep. Knew that one.
I told y'all.
Um,
All right, let's get to the
We have,
real important thing. Michigan needs Ojo Locos.
You mean
Ocho
Ocho
Cincos?
Cincos?
Ocho Cincos.
It's this place that's down there in Arlington that I think we went every night. And they actually had pretty decent tacos there. I don't know if y'all had any of the food, but the tacos were pretty decent. We had carnita tacos on Saturday.
They
Were
did
very
have
good.
pretty cool tacos, you know.
Or not Saturday, Friday. Riggs, shut up.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I know it.
I wasn't gonna
I
say it. And
knew
I'm
what
like,
you did
God
there.
damn it.
I knew what you were doing.
Savage.
Listen, what else can you expect from me, baby? Yeah.
To clarify,
That's
because
what I
y'all
bring.
weren't there. It is basically like a Mexican Hooters. Except for they wear less, a lot
Yeah.
less.
There may or may not have been lingerie instead.
Oh. I feel like there's some sports bars that have like lingerie night. or
This was
whatever.
every night.
Every
I-
night.
yeah.
They
So
decided that was
just the
every night.
theme. Gotcha.
They also
Although-
have a TV at every table. Like
Oh, of
literally,
course.
Yeah,
every table has its own TV.
that was at a couple different places in Texas too. I don't know if that's like a Texas thing, because that was just like there was a couple different restaurants we went to where they all had that same kind of thing. So maybe
Fellas.
Texas is just ahead of the game, I guess.
Fellas, they had
Mhm.
TVs at the urinals.
Did they really?
They did also
They
have
fine.
TVs at the
straight
urinals.
up,
That
they
was- I
had
forgot about
TVs
that.
on the
Their
urinal
bathrooms
walls.
are sexist
They literally
because
did.
there was no TVs in the women's restroom.
I mean,
was
you
maybe
guys
too
get
drunk enough.
couches, Nev. Don't even start, okay?
There was
I
no
was-
couches in that restroom either.
Mm,
I almost walked into the kitchen to go take a piss when I was there that one night. I may or may not have been a little sloshed.
okay, so
Yeah.
I gotta, if I'm ever in Arlington, I gotta go to Ocho Cinco's apparently.
It's not actually
Ojo
called
Locos.
Ocho
Also-
Cincos.
Also known as Ojo Locos, but
Oh,
Actually
Bryce-
known as
Bryce-
Ojo Locos.
if you ask Bryce, it's called Ocho Cincos.
Ocho Cincos.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Now, I didn't really want to
Sounds
bring
close
this
enough
up
to me.
until now. I'm not sure if anyone else noticed, because I didn't until the last night there. There is a sign about like not wearing gang colors and all that, which is probably why we all got patted down before we even walked in.
I think
I don't know.
everybody got patted down though. Well, only guys got patted down, I guess. But yeah, so there's your
I got
return
searched.
sexism, Nev.
No, my
only
bag got
only the
searched.
guys got. Yeah, but
No,
did you
no,
get
bags
patted
got
down, though?
checked. Bags
No,
got
but
checked.
I didn't wear anything. I didn't wear any baggy clothing. I was wearing leggings and a shirt every day.
I was wearing a t-shirt and pants.
Yeah, pants with pockets.
Pants with pockets.
I
Yeah,
didn't
well, there
have
you go.
pockets.
Listen, we got patted.
I'd
We
be
got patted down, so we
hard-pressed
deserve
to
TVs in the
find
bathroom.
men's pants without pockets. Do they
Can't
sell
Google it.
pants without pockets?
We can
do it.
talk about sexism in
often-
the clothing industry on another episode.
More often than
Yeah,
not, guys'
there's a-
pockets are caves, dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot that I could talk about as far as pockets and lack of thereof and sizes of pockets on women's
Oh
clothing.
my god, why do women always have to have so many purses?
Because we
Yeah.
don't get
Because
pockets.
they don't get the pockets.
I know.
But we have established in person that I am the tallest of the three of us. Depp wasn't there, so
wasn't there,
the jury's
yeah.
out on Depp.
Depp's taller than you.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Depp's got
Steph
some
is
height.
taller than you.
I'm not that tall. But Nev and Fro make me look really tall, which is really cool.
Bitch, you're like a half an inch
especially now.
taller.
His hair
Bro,
though.
not-
His hair's
Not in
on.
this
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah,
his
no
hair's
shit.
On point, and
That's
he's
no.
a little bit more.
His hair's
foreground
not
than
on
you,
point.
bro.
His hair is just poofed the fuck up. Like honestly.
That's just my hair, dude.
But he's also like a little bit more forward than you. I feel like, Fro, and so it makes it seem like he's got a decent.
Oh, you're talking about the
picture.
picture of the three of us?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I'm like leaning
Yeah,
on
that's
Nev,
what
and
I'm
he's
talking
like, I'm gonna stand up as straight as I possibly can, so I don't look like I'm short.
I was also leaning on Nev, but she's just short. as fuck.
No.
It's
I got the
perfect
proper
lean height.
grandpa hunch on. You're just like, nope. Rigid
Sorry,
back.
I have good posture.
Right.
Um,
Well,
Good
Nev met a
posture,
bunch of
fragile
people at
ego,
work.
however you want to call it.
so do we want to go through it day by day and give a quick
Oh,
rundown?
yeah,
of...
Thursday, my flight was supposed to land at 7:45, and it didn't
Savage.
land until 11:30.
get fucked.
That was my Thursday. How was everybody else's Thursday?
Thursday, I met up with the boys. We went to a brewery. We went to Topgolf. We went to. Was that the day we went to the escape room? Oh yeah, we did go to the escape room. I think that night. Maybe.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
did
it
all the
was,
really
yeah.
fun things that I was gonna participate in if my
we
flight landed when it was supposed to.
we went. So
Don't
we
worry,
went to this
Nev. I'm in the
escape room,
same
right?
boat.
We went to this escape room, and it was like a Wild West bank heist, right? And we're in
Okay.
there, we're solving shit, we're stealing the money, we're breaking the safe and all that. We
actually
had
awesome.
it was an hour escape room, right? And we probably solved the entire escape room in about 15 minutes. Outside of we got stuck on one thing and it wasn't even our. It's like it's not that we didn't know what to do. It was that the equipment we were given was dog shit. So we were stuck. We had to it was this like magnetic horseshoe that you could only control the magnet on the other side of this wall. So you couldn't see it where you were moving your magnet. You had to be directed by the people on the other side of the wall, like kind of, hey, move it up this way. Like they could see it, you couldn't.
Yeah.
But the magnet was so weak that the second the horseshoe touched like any part of the little maze it was in, it just fell off.
Oh.
It was a nightmare.
It needed to be a little bit stronger, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and so the dude after we finished it, he was like, yeah, everyone seems to have trouble with that fucking that magnet thing. I was like, yeah, no shit, because it sucks. Like, it's not hard. It's just like it's easy to figure out what to do. It's just the equipment sucks.
Yeah.
But then we took a really dope picture after.
Oh, yeah.
I'll try to post it, I guess. I think I posted most of these. If not, I will go back and post these. But I'll put it in the show chat so you can see all of us. But that was my Thursday.
Okay.
For what did you do on that Thursday? Because you didn't land till like the afternoon, right?
Yeah, I didn't get there till like late afternoon, early evening, like 4 or 5 o'clock ish or so. I was supposed to be there late Wednesday night so I could just wake up Thursday. Our flights got delayed. For those who don't know,
Oh yeah, y'all were trying to leave Wednesday when all the stuff went down.
all
Oh,
flights in all of
yeah.
America went down for Wednesday for a bit. That was the day we were flying. So our shit got pushed back, and I spent most of Thursday traveling. Finally made it back, or finally made it there. Just kind of got to my hotel, got my shit taken care of, and then went out to dinner. Really, there's this amazing Italian restaurant down there called Spazio. Everything's authentic, like authentic fresh mozzarella cheese sticks, like mozzarella sticks, deep fried mozzarella. Like, oh my god, it was so good. Like, I asked the lady because I saw they had bruschetta on the menu, right? And I'm like, can you explain to me what is in your bruschetta? Because any other place I go to get bruschetta, it's like, here's some dried toast with diced tomatoes on top.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll toss some garlic in there, or maybe a splash of balsamic. But this is like, it had all of it, the whole shebang. It was so fucking good.
It was shebangin', is what you're saying.
Dude, we got a chicken marsala, and oh my god, what else did we get?
Fro, you got to be careful. You're just making me hungry at this point.
Dude, it was so fucking good. It was like legitimate, all 100% authentic, fresh Italian, with a orange creme brulee to finish it off for dessert. Oh,
Hell yeah.
that was my Thursday.
Texas had some.
Oh, that and
banging
trying to
food.
coordinate with Riggs, but they're like going all over the place doing everything, and I'm like, hey, I've been on the plane since like 5 a.m. this morning, and it's now 5 p.m. I need dinner. I don't have time for escape room.
Yeah, we were moving around. I also I made it my mission to act as dumb as possible about Texas.
Oh no.
And what I mean by that, in every Uber we took. And so we take this Uber, right? We're heading to this brewery. It's like me, Bryce, Flint's there, and a couple other people. And we're sitting in there. Flint ended up sitting up front, and he's super nice Canadian, chatting up with our Uber driver and having a nice little conversation. Me and Bryce are miserable in the back because we got an air freshener getting shoved down our throat. The heater's on.
Ooh.
It's a time. But I see Flint's up there having a grand old conversation with this lady, and I'm like, how can I make Flint break? Like, how can I like say something to just make him like just break basically?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking around, I'm observing Texas, and I see that there's like a railroad track that we're passing underneath, and I look up and I just go, I didn't know Texas had trains. Just like in the most like just regular like normal way, and then you just see Flint, he's like, oh fuck, he just like puts his head in his hands, and just everyone in the car is just like, god damn it. So then that became my new thing. Every time we took an Uber,
I don't
would
know
just,
if Texas said this. I don't know.
yeah, every time we took an Uber, the
Oh,
Uber drivers
no.
driving around, whatever, I would just say something in the back. I'd be like, oh, I didn't know Texas had running water. I didn't know Texas had plumbing like that. It's like,
I mean, to
it
be fair,
became my
Texas
mission.
does have like exterior plumbing for the most, like for water, like it's run through the exterior walls.
It became a game for me to just to say shit like that to our Uber driver and see what happened.
Gosh.
So that was my Thursday, and do we don't just want to go Friday? I don't really remember a lot about Friday, to be honest.
Was that the
Don't
Ocho
remember
Cinco
it.
night?
That was the Ocho Cinco night.
That was one of them.
Yeah.
That was also the first day of game. Oh, you know what happened on Friday? That was the first day of games. We also saw Weekend a ton with his little vlog crew running around,
Yeah.
and I'm in Weekend's vlog for a little bit, and in the venue, I'm in the background looking at him like a weirdo. And then I'm pretty sure Hatmaster and Define Pride are in it at this like breakfast place, like in the background.
Okay.
Listen here, Riggs.
But
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and say that place is actual proper name. You just don't say little breakfast place. That is
was it? Like
the
the
Biscuit
the
Bar.
Biscuit?
Okay.
yeah.
And
place
that
is pretty
shit
was good.
also
We
fucking
actually
amazing.
had that delivered one morning, because we were both too hungover to go anywhere. So we actually had it delivered to the hotel, and they had some good sandwiches.
It was so
Yeah,
good.
Texas knows how to make food.
Good job,
I'll give them that.
Texas.
Job,
Yeah, good on you.
Texas.
Yeah, it's like this breakfast biscuit place that's
Motherfucker,
any
it's the biscuit
possible
bar.
sandwich with a biscuit you could think of, they probably got.
I
You
do
want a
gotta say
biscuits and gravy,
they
sausage,
had a
biscuit sandwich, they've
biscuit
got it.
pancake Monte Cristo. Dep, I saw your eyes light up, and it's just as fucking
Deb's-
delicious as you imagine. Take your
Deb's
fucking
eating
Guys
biscuit.
keep talking about fucking
Oh
food.
my god!
And I'm gonna have to like leave halfway through the recording.
I don't know how they're
because
not
I'm
fat down
gonna,
there,
like,
dude. Their food's fucking
I'm
good.
doing my best not
Oh
to
my God.
actively drool.
This place
Like,
was so good. I ended up
My
going
mouth
back
is
for
watering
second day.
so much right now.
That's half of Texas right there. We had
Half of
worlds
Texas
and we
was
had
the fucking food.
That's it. That
Yeah,
was basically
yeah,
half
honestly.
the trip.
Worlds and food. Okay.
Yeah, we weren't
That's
at the Smite
basically what
game.
the
We were
trip
at.
was.
Yeah, what did we do on Friday? I think we just I spent
You
all
drank.
day.
You
I spent
drank
all
and got
day
hungover.
there. I didn't get there, so I had VIPs, so I could have gotten there at
Ooh.
9 instead of 9:30 to get in. I didn't get there that early, but I did get to cut the line when I did get there
Mm.
before games because they had a
'Cause Nev's
separate
special.
entrance.
Nev
They had a
out here
separate entrance.
bragging about her VIP-ness over.
Listen, it was a birthday
Everything.
present. Panda asked me what I wanted for my birthday last year, and I said I wanted to go to Worlds and I wanted to do it right. So
Well, Nev actually is a very, very important person. Do you wanna go to that right now, Nev? I know that didn't happen until Saturday. Didn't it?
Saturday.
Do you want to talk about it right now though?
We'll talk about it on Saturday recap.
Okay. Well,
So
Nev became very special.
Ooh.
So Friday we did get there early enough to like play DKO on the stuff there, and they had the playtest server up, so we got to play the newest character to come to DKO. So that was exciting.
Oh.
It's Wukong, by the way.
Nice.
It's Sun Wukong. And yeah, we got really good seats. We're able to watch all the games. They were very, very well done. Got to meet a lot of people.
Mhm.
What'd y'all do on Friday?
Mostly the same. I don't remember if we stayed for the last set.
Oh, I stayed for the whole thing.
'Cause I think at that point we were really hungry. I don't remember if we stayed for that. But yeah, basically just went to the venue. We didn't wait in the line. We waited till that line went away because there was a shout out to Smite fans. There's a massive line around
Yep.
the
Oh,
entire
yeah.
building. Day
It went
one.
around the arena.
Yeah, they showed it on the broadcast. It was crazy.
You love
So
to
we
see
waited
it.
until that line. We waited till that line and kind of went away, and then we went in. Just kind of looked around. I talked to who did I talk to? Talked to Inbound, I think. Day one. He did the classic thing of he said, "Oh, what's your name?" I was like, "Oh, Riggs," and he goes, "Oh, I think you hang out my chat." I was like, "Yeah, every once in a while." He's like, "Oh, I think I recognize you." I was like, in my head, I was like, "Well, I don't say anything in your chat ever, so there's no way you ever recognize me." But I appreciate you trying to be nice and be like, "Oh yeah, I think your names look familiar." Like he did like the classic like trying to be like like nice famous person, quote unquote famous, but like nice famous person be like, "Oh yeah, I do recognize you." Like yeah, you're also yeah.
Meanwhile, he's thinking, I have no fucking idea who this guy
Yeah,
is.
he's
Right?
thinking, I have no idea who the fuck this dude is. But I appreciate him putting on a good face there. He was pretty cool. I don't remember if we met anybody else Thursday or Friday. Besides like Nev and all them. Finally met Nev for the first time. That was pretty cool.
I
But yeah.
distinctly remember you laughing when you met me. You're like,
I did
"Holy,
laugh.
you are short."
Yeah. Yeah, I believe those were my first words. Was holy shit, you are very short. Because you guys were already like seated by the time we met you. You guys were way up front, and then me
Yep.
and like Trevor and all them were way in the back. So I remember like in between sets we like went up and saw you guys.
Yeah.
I am a little disappointed that Panda is not 6'10". I
He's
built him up in
still-
my head as an image of this like Greek god who's like 6'10", like massive human, kind of like almost Shaq-esque, you know.
He's still pretty
And,
tall.
He is very tall, but he's not 6'10", so you know
Here.
he could grow a little bit more.
Here you go. There's a good height difference picture coming in there. There you go.
Oh, yeah. And then Panda just being a fucking giant. Jesus Christ.
He makes Fro not look that short. Fro actually looks like he's comparable in that picture.
Because Fro's closer now. He's more forward.
Yeah. It's all those camera tricks.
Yeah.
Fro, what did you do Friday? If you can remember.
Sorry, I was not expecting you to pass me right then. I was chewing.
Motherfucker, you're over here talking to food. Fro's chewing. I have to suffer. This is bullshit.
Oh,
I
actually,
ate
I can
breakfast before we recorded, so
I can talk more about Friday if you're still eating, Fro. Friday after we went to Ocho Cinco's, like you guys were saying.
yeah.
And I definitely. So here's the thing, right? And I want to praise Bryce and Flint and Rick. I don't know how they have livers, but if you saw them without a beer the entire event and the entire weekend, basically, that was like a rarity. Those three fucking drank their asses off, and I don't know how they survived.
That was the
It
night we did
was
the two towers over at Ocho Cinco's.
after they had
Because-
been drinking
two of
all
the
day
beer
at the
towers.
venue.
Yeah, there were two
Yeah.
beer towers, 100 ounces each. I helped
Yeah, it
helped
was-
with some of that. But that was why I was struggling Saturday morning and why we got the breakfast the biscuit delivery.
Yeah, then we had the fucking toothpaste shot.
Oh, the
And then-
Rumple Mint shot.
Yeah,
Why
Bryce orders a Rumple
Bryce
Mint shot.
always wants us to have Rumple Mints. I don't know why.
I thought it was tequila because it looked like tequila, so I had a lime ready to go, and I drank it and just instinctively put the lime in after it, and I was like, that is
No,
not
I didn't
tequila.
know you did that. Oh my god,
Yeah,
no.
Britt was looking at me, and she was like, oh no. And I was
Oh
like-
my god.
I didn't realize it wasn't tequila. I had a lime toothpaste action going on. But yeah, that was a fun night. I left without paying my tab. Fun fact.
Oh no.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in our Discord chat that we had for planning and everything,
Mhm.
they were like, "Do you realize you?"
I was like, oh shit.
Who ended
'Cause
up
I
paying
thought-
it for you? Who ended up was it
Bryce.
Bryce?
He said
Yeah.
it wasn't that much because I only ordered like 2 beers, so it wasn't that. I mostly drank out of the 100-ounce one.
The tower.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, Bryce. I thought because Rick's wife or fiance, I don't know if they're married yet, but she had a big old like receipt in front of her. I was like, oh, that's just everybody's. I'll just send Bryce money like tomorrow or whatever when I get home. And I just got up and left when Nev and Panda left, and then all of a sudden I get back to the hotel and Bryce is like, "Hey, that waitress was looking for you. You never paid." I was like, "Oh shit, oops."
Wow.
So,
Riggs one moment.
I did go.
Yeah,
back.
they drink a whole shit ton. 5 minutes later. Yeah, there was a big ass receipt. I just assumed they paid for mine. No, Riggs.
I-
See your
I just assumed
previous
mine was
statement.
on I assumed mine was on it. I too, because it was only like 2 things. So I was like, "Oh, I'll just send them money." But
That was great.
alas, mine was not on it.
That was
But yeah.
great.
Fro, how was your Friday now that you're not eating?
It was very comparable to yours. Mine wasn't so much as like meeting people as saying hi to the people that I already knew and like catching up with them. For instance, like Leaf Warrior and I were trying to go out and get some lunch. That didn't end up working out until I think was it Sunday or Saturday, one of the two. There was a few people that I met up with, like got to meet Biak Guy, J2 Faye, Loki Dad, and a few others that I haven't actually ever met like IRL. But yeah, I hung out with Riggs and Bright most of the day. So shout out to Bright, by the way. Dope dude who drove his car down and then is like, hey, we'll drive you around. I'll drive you
Right.
around. It's like, dude, you saved us so much in Uber. I
Yeah,
literally
shout out
filled
to
his tank
Bright.
up. Yeah. I was like, hey, it's the first time I've never had this happen because I've like, not that I like don't buy gas. I mean, yeah, I don't usually buy gas for people. But like, you know how
Right.
when you go to buy gas, you kind of always know how much is in your tank and all that? Like,
yeah.
I go up to get gas and I'm like, yeah, 25 on pump like 4 or whatever, and then that's when it hits me and I'm like, I have no idea how much gas is in his gas tank, and I'm like, Do I gotta go through this awkward thing where I go back in because I like
Yeah.
ordered too much gas, like, and it's on the card? So that and I know how it all works. It just like hit the anxiety that like I didn't think this dude at fucking 1 a.m. at a gas station in the middle of Arlington was gonna. I didn't have trust in the gas station.
Yeah,
But,
shout out to
yeah.
Enbright. May have been the scariest time in my life in a car with somebody, because yeah,
Not because he's a
him
bad driver.
him driving in an unfamiliar place is it's always an interesting time. Like, I'm the same way. Like, it takes me a little bit. Like, when I first went up to Utah a lot with my girlfriend, like if I drove around, it was a little hard for me to like figure out how they do things up there. So I get
Mhm.
that. Uh,
He's just
but it was,
blind
it
as
was an interesting
fuck.
time. He also can't see.
Yeah, that's what made it real interesting.
So
Friday. Oh my god, that's the cat. The day we saw the cat. So-
yeah, the fat cat.
Oh, I guess I do got one story about Friday. That's kind of funny. I had to have Bright take me to my hotel. I totally had him take me to the wrong fucking hotel, dude. Like
Jesus
15
Christ.
minutes. But it gets better than
Yeah.
that. You know how I found out it was the wrong hotel? Not because when we got there, I look up and go, huh, this is a different building. This is a different parking lot. Not because when I walk into the lobby, I go, this is a different lobby, different carpet, different walls. Not because when I get to the elevator, I'm like, hey, this is a smaller elevator, not the same one. And then not because when I get to the top or the fourth floor, that again, all the fucking flooring and carpeting is different, along with the number system is like slightly different. It's when I'm literally standing at the door putting my key in the thing and it won't unlock. Am I like, why won't my door open? And then it just dawns as I look around and I'm like, none of this is familiar. Not
Oh,
a fucking bit
no.
of it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I gave her a shit after that. I was like, dude, you probably went to like, it's like probably this like single woman that was in this hotel room who's already anxious about traveling. She's in a foreign city. She's like, super anxious about being alone in a hotel room. And all of a sudden, some dude's like at like fucking midnight's coming in, like trying to open her hotel door, and like doesn't realize it's not his until his key card doesn't work. Like, he just ruined some lady's trip.
Probably did. Terrified.
Yeah.
Well, that was great. That was great.
And then we saw a tailless raccoon on the way too. I thought it was a fat cat. It was
That's
my
pretty
first time
wild.
ever seeing it. It was my first time ever seeing a raccoon in person. I don't think we have them in Arizona that much. So I look over. I was like, "That's a big ass cat over there." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Look over there. There's like a big ass like weird looking cat thing." And they're like, "That's a raccoon." And I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, because
It's
it
like
like
missing its defining feature though.
yeah, it had like crawled under a car, and he's like, "Look, there's a big ass cat that just ran under that car." And then like as we're like coming, because we also had to like round that corner because it was like the one we needed to get to my actual hotel. It just kind of like came out, and it's like, you know how raccoons have that like waddle to them when they walk.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's a fucking raccoon. Like you could just see it, and I'm like, that's a fucking raccoon without a tail. What the fuck?
Yeah, my first time ever seeing a raccoon in person, and it's missing its like defining feature.
Do you guys
That's
have
cool.
trees in Arizona? Did you invent them out there yet?
We do have trees. We had to import them though from other states that actually have trees.
I know you had
Mm.
those like short, chody, spiky trees.
Oh, the Ocotillos.
Cactus. I mean a cactus.
Well, I mean we have tons of kinds of those. Though.
Oh,
I
God.
thought, well, 'cause
Just wanted to
listen,
clarify.
You say short
Well-
spiky tree.
No,
There's
no,
like
no.
1,000
Short, spiky,
possibilities that it could be.
chody tree. You forgot the chody part. That was really
That,
important.
that could be like 1,000 possibilities, dude. We have basically every tree / like bush here is spiky thorn cactus looking. But yeah, that
Why does everything in
that was
Arizona
Friday.
hate everything?
Right.
I don't know, man.
That could be 1,000 different spiked plants we have here.
Yeah. I mean, our state tree is a cactus, so that tells you all you need to know. Do you want to move on to Saturday? So Saturday rolls around, and we get this message on Discord from Panda, and it's like, "Hey, big news at like 10:30 or 10:45, whatever, at the venue. And we're like, oh shit. And then we see the message pop up. And Nev, do you want to take it from here?
What the announcement?
Yes.
It's me, your girl. I am now an official Smite game Twitch channel streamer this year. I'm over there. I did my first stream on Friday night.
Heck yeah.
Let's go.
Very,
Nice.
very exciting. Lots of fun.
So are you gonna have the same schedule each week, or is it different?
Don't know. So I just got my schedule for this upcoming week, and it looks pretty much the same, except for I'm gonna also be streaming tomorrow. So,
Okay.
but we'll basically, I'll get that information and then obviously convey it to y'all for planning purposes. But
Heck yeah.
yeah, no, it was super fun. I was nervous on Friday because that was my first one, and I was just worried that people wouldn't like me
Oh,
or like that I wouldn't be good at it or whatever. But not to go and do like a play by play of the whole night, but I did go 19-6 as Daji on
nice.
the Smite game channel and popped off, and that was probably one of my best games on Daji in my life. And
Heck yeah.
So now
Yep.
people are gonna think you're good though.
I know,
Right.
that's the
That's the
thing. Well,
tough.
so I
That's-
actually I opened the night because there was nobody in the queue, obviously. But I was like, all right, I'm just gonna play assaults, and if y'all wanna let me know, you let me know after this game if y'all wanna play. And so I cue the assault and I get Rama, and I'm like, oh my god, Smite is giving me a character that I'm gonna miss every single freaking auto attack on. Nope. Turns out, popped off on Rama, got 2 ultimates in a row. At one point, I
Huh.
was just screaming. I was like, somebody call Biakai. There's a new Rama main in town.
Oh no.
There's a clip of it on Smite Game right now.
Plot twist, Smite game gives you auto aim.
We
They-
did
they
end up
boost your account.
Alright.
we did end up losing that game, unfortunately,
Uh.
but it was still really cool. And I think also it was just like it wanted to give me a bunch of hunters in a row for my very first stream because it was Rama, then Artemis, then Ishtar, then
You're like an
AMC.
Artemis main though. And you
Right,
like
but it was
AMC, so like I don't see the problem here.
right,
Now.
but
That sounds pretty great.
but it was 4 hunters in a row, and it was like, can I play literally anything but a hunter? And then Smite was like, fine, here, have Tsukiyomi, and I'm like, that's not what I wanted.
That's not better.
Deb, I think you're on something with the Smite game boosting their account because
Yeah.
coincidence
Yeah.
that Nev gets hunters
Coincidence?
that
I
many
think
times
not.
in a row on her
Alright.
Smite game stream.
I
I
did
think not.
I did change my OBS settings like 10 minutes before the stream started, so I am actually streaming in 1080,
Nice.
60 FPS. So maybe that
Hell
helps.
yeah.
I don't know.
Nev's got all the frames now, so she's
I have all
not
the
missing.
frames.
They send you an Alienware.
It's that
No.
projectile speed.
No, I just finally figured out how to optimize my settings. That's all.
I might have to have you help me out one of these days with that.
Turns out, I know, I don't know if y'all remember when I was having my computer issues last year and I was just
Yeah.
like randomly disconnecting all the time and everything like that.
Yeah.
We had done a factory reset on the computer to see if that would help everything.
Yeah.
And it did, but fun fact, when you do a factory reset, it didn't reinstall the NVIDIA program in order for me to update my graphics card.
Ah.
So I started struggling with stream performance about 2 months ago. And I was like, I don't
Yeah.
understand what's going on. And then I was talking to J2 Faye, who is also on the stream team. And I was like, I don't know how to make the, and he was like, well, when was the last time you updated your graphics card? And so like I went into like the upgrades section in my settings and I was like, it says everything's up to date. And he was like, well, did you do it through the NVIDIA
Site.
program?
Right. Your program, yeah.
And so I went to open it and I was like, Oh, funny story. That's not installed.
Not even here.
So that could explain a lot. So I reinstalled that and updated my drivers, and now I can stream at 1080 60. So there we go.
You know, I might have to do that myself. Download the NVIDIA thing because I had to factory reset my computer, and
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't do
definitely,
that.
definitely, definitely get the program for your graphics card if it's not already on there, and then if it is, check to see if you need any upgrades or not upgrades, but updates to that software because that could be it, and that hardware. Just make sure there's updates. But yeah, that was
that was a dope way to start off Saturday. It was being like, hell yeah,
yeah,
we'll get Nev.
that was really exciting. We weren't sure if they were going to like announce it at the venue or if they were just gonna do like the tweet, which it turns out they just did the tweet, so everybody got to the venue early for no reason. But
Savage.
thanks
Well,
for
you got
being
everyone
there
in there. Yeah.
anyway.
Can I say something too? When you
Well,
were
we
like,
were
'cause
there
all
because you
all
were
Panda said-
elected for the Golden Bolts regardless.
That's Sunday. Sunday was Golden Bolts.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what? So all Panda told us was like, hey, special announcement thing at the venue, like be there at the venue like before 11 or something.
Oh, so
And
that's what
so
he was
me-
talking about on Friday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Saturday on Saturday.
Yeah.
No, he told
Or
us be there
Saturday.
early on Saturday. Yeah, but that's what he was telling
Yeah.
us when he left. I'm not sure if you remember because you had a
Yeah,
few
no,
when
I
you left
remember.
Ojo Cinco. But
I
he was
remember.
like,
I
yeah,
don't
he was
remember that.
he was very much so like, make sure you're there tomorrow.
Yeah, and like Nev was saying too, like they didn't know whether it was gonna be like an in-person announcement or they were just gonna put a tweet. It ended up just being a tweet. So
Yeah. So
But,
sorry that y'all got there early.
me and Bryce and everybody were like speculating. We're like, oh shit, is it gonna be like, did Nev get a job at High Res? Gonna be like High Res Nevea or like what? Like, where is it going on? We didn't even think about the stream thing because I totally forgot that was a thing that was going on as well.
You
They were
forgot
picking
that I
candidates
applied for it and everything?
Well, no, I just forgot. I just forgot they were still picking candidates for it. I don't really mess with that too much. So we were like thinking of every possible surprise or big announcement besides that. We're just like, maybe Nev got a job at High Res. Maybe maybe I don't know, she's involved with the SPL or something. Maybe she's gonna be like an admin. Like we're just like, oh shit, this is gonna be crazy. And then no, we weren't. Not that we were disappointed by it. We just didn't even think that. We totally forgot that was an option. We were
Savage.
just going down a
They
rabbit
took
hole of,
Occam's
like,
razor. They
possible
threw
options.
that thing right the fuck out the window
Yeah.
and started
yeah.
investigating every other route.
There were
Yeah, we
three
just
there
went
were
down a
three
ton of
big
rabbit holes.
things that I was waiting to hear back for this year. Number 1 was Stream Team. We got it. Number 2 was Golden Bolts. We'll talk about that when we recap Sunday. And then number 3 is Olympian. Those were the big 3 things for this year.
Best of luck for Olympian. I don't know if they've announced winners yet.
They have not announced yet. It says they're going to announce on or around the start of season 10. So maybe
Okay.
we'll know something next week.
I say announced. I know that they actually send the email out to the winners early. So.
Early, yeah. No, because
That's
they have
kinda what I
to
mean.
Do the paperwork and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But voting for that just
Yeah,
ended,
because I
like,
remember I
3
totally
days
didn't
ago,
read the
so-
full email, and I just got super excited and immediately tweeted out, "But yeah, I got it." And then I read the email and I was like, "Oh shit,
It
let
was
me delete
like,
this tweet."
Do not tell people.
Good thing I only got like
Classic.
50 followers.
No, but they'll yeah, the vote ended what, Wednesday morning? Wednesday night? Yeah, I think it closed at Wednesday night. So
Well, best of
Maybe
luck to you.
sometime
Best
soon.
of luck to Blaze.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Fingers
bummer.
crossed.
I didn't make it onto the ballot. Maybe
Mm.
maybe my paperwork got misplaced somewhere.
Did you apply?
Did you apply?
No, but I feel like I should have just been chosen anyways.
Oh, you feel like you
Um,
just should have been given it. I see.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
should have just been I should have just been able to bypass that process and skip on
I
the ballot.
see. Okay.
It's kind of like when you write in your ballot when you vote in the elections. I feel like enough people should have wrote in my name to make it. You know, so I'm kind of confused as to what happened. Maybe there's like a glitch in the system or something. Maybe we'll have to get a recount going. But yeah, weird. But
Weird.
congrats to Dev stream team. That's huge.
Yay! Yeah, I'm super excited. Second stream is tonight. I don't know why I'm saying that. Like the people listening are gonna be able.
Yeah, go
You're
back in
gonna have
time
to
and
go
watch
in
the
the
vlog.
past and
Second
watch
stream
at
was on
7
Sunday.
PM. Yeah, second stream is on Sunday. Third stream is on Monday.
Question: are you doing anything like crazy for the Smite game streams, or is it just like your normal stream, but just
Oh,
to like way more people?
that it's that.
Okay.
And I think and I was really nervous Friday because like I said, I was like I don't know if people are gonna like me or like the style that I do or whatever. And it turns out a lot of people liked it a lot. And they were like, "Oh my god, you're so fun. You're so wholesome." I'm like, "Yay."
Yay! We love this for us.
Somebody called me. Well, this wasn't on Spike Game, but it was the night before on my channel. Somebody they were like, "Oh, I know who you remind me of." And I was like, "Who?" And they were like, "You remind me of a female version of Loki, Dad." And I'm like, "That's the best compliment anybody's ever given me."
That's such a dangerous thing. You know who you
Yeah.
remind me of? That could go anywhere.
I know.
Right.
Well, I got nervous. I was like, hopefully somebody positive in the community. And it turns out it was somebody positive in the community.
Right.
Especially in a random Twitch chat. You know who you remind me of? Oh no.
Oh dear.
But yeah, that started off our Saturday. Trying to think of what else happened Saturday. I think
What else happened on Saturday was that the Titans they won their semifinals, and that was pretty pog.
Yeah, semis were fine or Saturday. Kings, I mean, didn't even fucking. We'll talk about Kings, man. They didn't lose a game. They were fucking. It was sick. I can't remember if Saturday was the day I met Hazer or if that was Friday. But I met Hazer. Nev was there.
Saturday.
I only got to talk to him for like a minute because he
That
had to go
was-
run up to the desk.
That was Saturday.
That was Saturday.
That was Saturday.
That was Saturday, and I talked to Hazer in line at the after party on Sunday for like a solid 10 minutes. That was great.
Yeah. He gave me a personal sock reveal. That was cool. He was wearing cow socks.
Cow socks. Yep.
Um,
That was Saturday.
Yeah. I didn't get to see him again, bummer, but did get to meet him, got a picture with him, my boy. On Saturday, what else happened on Saturday? Oh, Saturday I also got a chance to say hi to Hindu Man, I believe, was on Saturday. He is pretty cool. Only got to talk to him for like a minute or two, but cool dude. I don't remember what else happened on Saturday. I remember watching the games. The games were fun.
Games were great.
Don't remember too much else about Saturday, to be honest. I remember a lot about Sunday, but Saturday kind of blurs.
Fro, anything from Saturday?
Fro, you got Saturday?
I mean, you pretty much still covered it.
I did do a Korean barbecue with Hatmaster, Defined Pride, and a bunch of their buddies celebrating Gactel's birthday over there. So I did get to do that Saturday night. That was fun.
Hell yeah. I was saying, me and Fro spent most of the event together, so whatever I did, Fro also probably did. Nev was too cool for us, so she's got different
not
stories.
true. We just had
Savage.
made plans to do the Korean barbecue because it was Gactel's birthday. If it's any consolation, the service was absolutely terrible.
Well, yeah, it's
no.
Korean
Yeah,
barbecue. You got to cook your own fucking food.
No,
we had Hooters too, so.
no, like so we ordered 4 different meats. They brought everything out, and then they never came back.
Hell yeah.
That's weird.
And then
We
at
love
the
that.
and then they finally came back and they were like trying to give us our check, and we're like, we only got the one serving, so we're gonna order another set of 4, and then we'll pay. But they just they never came over, and that was kind of a bummer because the food was good, but
Me and Fro had a similar experience at Hooters. Didn't get our drinks until a long time. Like we didn't even get asked what we wanted. Didn't get our food. We didn't even get to order our food for a long time. Let alone get the food. It was an interesting experience.
Dude,
Hope
okay.
y'all
So
are-
I don't know
After we had
who
to, we had to settle for Hooters, by the way, because we were gonna go to Korean barbecue, and then that was too busy. Then we were gonna go to Benihana, that was too busy. So we're just like, fuck it, let's go to Hooters.
we met
Yeah,
up
there
with
was a
y'all there.
bit of
but
a
by the time we got there,
miscommunication
y'all-
with the Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
Because I was all, someone suggested it. I'm like, yeah, I'll call and try to make reservations. And I asked Nev if she wanted to go to Korean barbecue, and she's like, yeah. I didn't know Nev was already on a different like group
I thought you
with
knew.
reservations.
That was
Right.
my
So
bad.
here I am
thought you
trying to
knew.
like figure out who's all going to Korean barbecue. Like, and I literally spend like fucking 45 minutes going back and forth because like I just kept getting conflicting answers from everybody.
I'm sorry. I thought you knew.
Yeah. And all that just to find out, hey, no spots available now. It's like, great.
Cool. Love that
Neat.
for us. Neat.
Especially when Korean barbecue is like the one or two things that my wife's like, yeah, I want to do that while we're down there. It's like, this is upsetting, but it is what it is. So we went to Hooters. But I don't know who was with Bryce, but there's some dude with Bryce who is very
Oh, the Jaguars guy.
enthusiastic about
Yeah,
sports.
Duval.
Yeah.
So
The night we
the
met up with y'all at Hooters after.
yeah, we went to Hooters the night that the Jaguars were playing the Chargers for the NFL playoffs, and there was a one of the guys with Bryce who was there for Smite was a massive Jaguars fan. And for context, the Jaguars were getting their ass kicked the entire first half. It was like 27-7 or something. And that didn't matter. Anytime the Jaguars did anything good, it was just ball. You just get up and just start screaming and just start clapping. I'm like, dude, you guys are down like 27 points.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Like,
matter.
it did not matter. And then the funny part is too is we ended up leaving, or I ended up leaving before the game was over, and the Jaguars ended up coming back and winning. So I cannot imagine.
It was
How
insane because we
how
were
he
there.
was.
We were there by that point, and oh my gosh, he was practically running laps in the freaking
Yeah.
bar.
And see, but here's the thing that was like, there was a guy at the bar. I'm not sure if anyone else noticed or how much worse it got before I left, but there's a guy at the bar who, like, the Jaguars would do any play at all, and if this dude
Yep.
wouldn't react, he was like watching him, like over his
Yep.
shoulder, literally watching the dude sitting at her table, and then like
Yep.
if they did any sort of play, he'd like start clapping, right,
Yep.
trying to like get the guy to start hyping up a little bit.
That
And
kept going after you left.
it worked. Did he? Okay, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it worked. But the thing is, like, as soon as the dude started hopping, what is he saying? Duval or Dubar, whatever.
Duval. Because
Duval.
they play in Duval
Got it.
County in
Gotcha.
Florida, so it's Duval.
So when he started to be like Duval, the other dude be like, hey, settle it down a little bit. It's like, bitch, don't act like you weren't just there trying to hype this man up to get him to do this in the first place. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like, 'cause
so that kept,
I was-
that kept going.
Did it? Yeah, because like literally, he kept doing that like the whole time I was there. So I could only imagine it probably got worse. But it's like, dude, what the fuck? Are you gonna hype the man up to hype him down? Anyways,
I met one of the guys in the group was also from Arizona who played Smite, and we also played solo lane, so it was interesting. We were chatting a little bit. Can't remember his name, unfortunately. But yeah,
such
that's
is the
Saturday
life
to
of
me.
a solo lane
I
player.
don't remember a lot about Saturday, to be honest. I remember like the first day and the
Little
last day. but
hazy.
the
It was a
middle,
little
the middle
hazy.
day, the middle day kind of blurs, you know.
Yeah, there was a lot of activity and a lot of drinking on Saturday, so kind of blurs
Do
in together.
we want to move to Sunday?
Sunday.
So I'll start with Sunday because I got up bright and early. I was in line at the venue on Sunday morning. I was one of the first people in line. Got in there. I ended up meeting it because so the way I looked at it, right? I was like, this is my first Worlds. I'm not really like known really in the community, but there's a lot of people I want to meet and like say hi to, say what's up. I didn't really do that too much Friday, Saturday, so I was like, Sunday is the last day of the event. I'm not leaving here without meeting the people I want to meet and saying hi. So Sunday
I'd be
was
damned, Briggs. I'd be damned.
yeah.
Right.
Sunday was my
We were
tourist
some of the
day.
last people to leave the fucking building. Like, staff was looking at us like, all right,
Oh
guys.
my god. Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, so Sunday morning I'm waiting in line. The first people I meet, I say hi to J Mac, talk to him a little bit. He remembered the drunk lore episode we did.
Heck
Got a
yeah.
picture with him.
Glory.
Glory.
I got to oh, maybe it was Sunday I met Hindu. Yeah, I think it was Sunday I actually met Hindi because Hindi was walking around too because they were doing like the show from like the couch thing that was in the main lobby. It was like Dolson and Kelly, and they were bringing people on. I
Well, they
talked
did
to
that
Distance for a
Saturday and
minute.
Sunday. They did that
I was there
Saturday
on
and Sunday.
Sunday. I was behind them. I was behind the camera on Sunday watching it for a little bit. So I met Jithens after he
Dolson
got
took
off.
off his suspenders without taking off his pants.
Mhm.
0 out of 10 would not recommend. That's such a tease.
Didn't he
I
throw
met-
his suspenders too?
He did. He
But
threw
didn't
him
throw
in the
his
crowd
pants.
during
I'm
finals.
just
Oh
saying.
God, hold on, my microphone.
See,
is
exactly, Nev. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Oh God! Oh
Uh,
no!
No, my
I got
microphone just fell. Hold on one second.
I'm just gonna keep going. I got to meet Yarkor. You want to talk about short people? Obviously, Yarkor's a beast in game. He won Worlds again, second year in a row, 2 different roles. But Nev is short. Yarkor is also really fucking short. It kind of
Can we get a hat trick person that like 3 roles, 3 championships?
Well,
That'd be
I mean, we'll
pretty
see if he
wild.
switches roles, but
Right.
so far he's 2 for 2. He's played 2 roles, got 2 championships. He's
You
the
know,
first
I'm
person to do
gonna
that in-
hold the title of GOAT for the player that actually does all 5.
Yeah, he
be
makes
cool.
the round.
That'd be wild.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like when you-
I think if anyone ever did that in any MOBA,
Yeah.
I think you just kind of do get the title.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
he did play support for like half of a split this season before he went back to ADC. So there is the precedent. He has played support. Maybe he
could.
goes back.
He could do
Maybe he
support.
Well,
goes back to
this
support.
is the support ADC year, right?
Right.
He's already hat tricked
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, and he didn't win as a support though. He needs to win
Okay,
finals. as a
okay,
support.
yeah. All right. That's the
Yeah.
criteria. We're
Yeah.
setting it out right
So
now.
He was playing solo last year, won the MVP. Played ADC this year, won the finals. And now he needs to do support, mid, and jungle. So.
The final championship game
And
has to
coach.
be won
Do you
in
wanna
that
include
role
coach?
in 2023, the year of Nev's drop mic.
I can hear her like fast the screws
I know.
Sorry.
tightening it. How does it fall off? I'm
This is
confused.
probably
Because
horrible
my boom arm
content.
sucks, and the thing that's supposed to keep it all together broke like 6 weeks after I freaking got the thing. So every so often it'll just randomly fall.
But yeah, so I met a bunch of people there. Waited in line for the Kings meet and greet. Got to meet the Kings. Took a picture with all of them. Got to meet Twig. Gassed them up a little bit. Showed them the sign. It was funny too when I opened up the sign. I told them I was like, "Yeah, I've got a sign for. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but I got a sign for you. It says Captain Twig has a massive cock." And as soon as I said that, they were like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then Genetics asked me to pull it out, so I pulled out the sign, and I just realized that was bad phrasing right there. Genetics asked me to pull it out.
Yeah,
after I'm talking about massive cock.
I was gonna let it go. I was gonna let it go.
No.
I just
No,
realized
we're
after I
good.
said
We're
it.
good. Dolson didn't do it for us. Continue.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I grab the sign and I pull out the sign, and I open up the sign and like as I open it up, the line for the Kings meet and greet looks at it and they all start freaking out. They start cheering, and I was like, oh shit. And then so I met them. That was cool. And then the Bolts did a meet and greet, basically at the same like right as the Kings one was ending, the Bolts one started up in the same exact spot. So I just hopped in line, met the Bolts. Talked to Bear for a little bit, gave him shit about how he ghosted me one time for doing a school project. That was funny.
Then you
know,
forgot
have I
your
told that story
fucking
before?
shirt up there after getting all signed. He had to go back up
I
like a
did.
jackass. Like, my bad. Can I grab?
I
Excuse
did.
me, excuse me, everybody. Excuse me. Grab my shirt.
I almost
All right,
forgot
thanks,
my
bye.
shirt that everybody was signing. Yeah, I don't know if I told that story before. I'll do a quick recap. So, first year of college, I had to do a project in one of my classes where it was like pick a career and then like do a deep dive into the career, like how you become whatever it is, like what the pay is, what requirements, basically all that stuff. And part of it was you had to interview somebody in that field. So I picked like esports, like pro player or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll interview someone who's I'll interview a Smite pro. And so I asked around a couple of them. I sent some DMs out, and Barracuda gets back to me, and he's like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, send me over the questions. I'll get back to you. I was like, all right, cool, thanks. And so I sent him the questions, and never heard back from him.
Nice.
And that happened to a couple different people. I sent like a couple pros were like, yeah, send me the stuff, and I'll do that, and none of them answered me. So I basically I still did the
Faked it.
project. I
Faked
just
it.
acted like I just answered the questions for Barracuda. Basically, I just became Barracuda for that question because I was like, well,
Nice.
I guess I'll just do that. So then I showed him that, and I gave him shit for it, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, but it was funny. He's a super nice dude. If you like, he's always pictured as like the super nice guy in Smite.
He
From
is
what
nice.
I've
He is a nice
experienced,
guy.
he is definitely
Yeah.
the super nice guy of Smite. He is a sweetheart. Uh, and it's funny. I was wearing a King shirt too when I was doing it because I just gone to the Kings meet and greet, and Baskin was like, "Oh, thanks for giving me PTSD, man," because they just lost to the Kings the
Oh
day
no.
before. And I was like, "Oh, sorry, man." But yeah, and then
Okay.
went in, watched finals, saw the Golden Bolt stuff. I don't know, Nev, you want to take over for that?
Yeah, so I figured I probably didn't get it because I felt like if I did get it, they were gonna ask if I was gonna be there. For example, one of the uh one of the winners was not able to be there, and so they did like a video recording accepting the award. So I figured I didn't get it, but I was just like on the off chance that, oh, well, they saw me here, so maybe they know. No, it didn't matter. I didn't get it. But Tina introduced the category and she said my name right, and now we're friends on Twitter, so I'm very excited.
Nice.
Oh yeah. While you were saying that, I remembered something that happened on Saturday. Do you want to backtrack because it's something
What
that was
happened?
very important.
What happened?
So Saturday during your set, Nev, the Titans versus the Dragons set,
Mm-hmm.
there was a issue with Spectator that happened
Oh yeah.
where Spectator was kind of glitched out. Surprise, surprise. So they ended up following none other than Solo or Troll for a little bit. We were just getting the
Oh.
Amaterasu POV, and it was stuck on that for a while. So we were like, all right, what the hell's happening? And we're just watching Amaterasu run around the map, do nothing, and she goes to farm a totem, and all of a sudden the crowd is like, oh shit, a totem's getting farmed, and they just started cheering, and then that started the cheers
Cool.
for buffs and the totem of coups. And anytime a buff got cleared, there was a huge roar. It was
Like
fun.
deafeningly loud.
Now, I'm not sure how well this came across the broadcast, but there were times where, like, I feel bad for the cameraman, right? Because clearing a buff normally is not the exciting shit, right? And if he sees two people doing any sort of skirmish, that almost always takes priority. There was literal boos when they panned away from someone clearing a buff to two people just doing maybe a little skirmish, right? Like,
Yeah.
because they'll be cheering, like, the closer and closer the buff gets done, people are getting ready to know they're cheering, yelling for the buff, and then the camera would pan away to go watch this fight, and then all of a sudden, boo, boo. Like, I'm not sure how well that came across the broadcast, but, like, that was happening. Not, like, crazy amounts, but there was a few times, and I was like, oh my god. I feel bad for the cameraman. You're doing your job great, but this crowd's just on a different energy today, man.
I messaged Blaze because he was watching it from home, and I asked him, like, can you hear, like, what's going on with this? He's like, yeah, it's hilarious. Like, you can hear they did a good job of picking up the crowd for that. So pretty much every time the crowd said boo or cheered for buffs, you heard it on the broadcast. And the best part too was looking up in the booth because the casters were like up above us,
Yeah.
on like their own little booth. And every time it would happen, I would look over, and I think it was J Mac and Mifflin on that set. And I know for sure it was J Mac because I could see him, and every time I would look up when they started doing it, J Mac just kind of was trying to hide like a smile, and he would try to laugh about it because it was just ridiculous. But yeah, that set started the buff meta where anytime a buff was dropped, potentially dropped, looked at, a coup was looked at, it was you would have thought the world had just ended and some team won finals basically. It was great. And then back to Sunday. Sorry, I just forgot about that. I remember that was a Saturday thing.
Yeah, that's definitely something notable, because, like, that was great. It, like, being there, I'm glad I was there for that, because that was just fucking hilarious the whole time. Because like even some of it played over a little bit into the next day too. Not as bad, but that set
I'm
was
glad
just
it was like a
fucking-
1-day thing mostly, because that would have gotten a little much. I feel like if it was all final set too.
No,
But,
yeah, like just the like the 1 or 2 times was like a good chuckle. Like if it would have been any more, it'd have been like, all right, that was a yesterday thing, right? But none wrong with being reminded of yesterday. But yeah, that was fucking hilarious. I loved it.
Do you have anything else for like Sunday morning before sets? Because then the Kings fucking blasted the Titans.
Boo.
Hell yeah, Captain Twiggy. After he's made every single world championship since Smite has been around, has never won it. He's been to 3 finals,
Yeah,
finally wins it.
that's fair.
Genetics played his fucking brain off, dude. I showed it to Fro. I put it in the Discord. It's like a little minute play, but it's like
Well,
when
it's
you think
I
about how
wanted to make sure
casually
we
it
were
was.
looking at the same play. Like, right? I know I was like, all right, Riggs is the type of person. I'm pretty sure he's appreciating this Ymir wall, but like I'm just not for sure, right? But yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of really, really hype plays. Like there was like the Genetics had like a 5-man Maui ult. They were all hiding behind like this little pillar into a lane, and
Yes.
Genetics like just 5-man Maui ulted
I
them.
do remember that. That was really good.
Dude, Maui
Um,
alts all weekend.
Yeah, Genetics and Maui, just what a combo. Yeah, Maui in general, but Genetics was going buck wild. But yeah, there's a play that I want to talk about where I did not realize this was a thing that you could do, and I played a lot of Tyr and Ymir, and there was just a casual play. Kings are sieging a Phoenix. They're up by a lot. I'm sure they would have won the game anyways, but they're sieging a Phoenix, and Variety's playing Mulan, and he's kind of up. He's frontlining, and he gets blink fearless by the Tyr. And I'm pretty sure if he gets fully fearless, he gets CC chained and dies there. I don't think they lose the game off it, but I'm pretty sure he dies. It delays the game. Genetics mid fearless on the Variety. He puts a wall up in between the Tyr and the Mulan getting fearless and cuts off the rest of the fearless, and Variety gets out. It is insane.
Yep.
I have it posted in somewhere in Discord. I don't remember where.
But anyone who's ever caught someone's dash, y'all already know how hype that is. Like, oh shit, I caught his dash. This wall went between the fearlessing Tearless and Mulan, though. It is like so perfectly placed and timed. And, oh, beautiful. Because, like, he barely gets fearless, too, because it was, like, towards the very start of it as well.
Yeah, it was right, and it was just like whipped it over, instant like reaction time, just put it in between. And like if you think about if you played Tyr, you know how close you are to people when you're fiercing them. Like the margin for error there is very small.
I'm not even sure if there is one.
Right.
And shout out to BMT also. He had a huge Vulcan ult that kind of helped space out people to help Variety get out, but the wall was insane. So shout out to Genetics, but shout out to the Kings. Did not lose a single set the entire tournament, or a single game the entire tournament.
GG's.
I don't think it was particularly close either. They had a couple games where they were down like a little bit, but really it never really seemed like they were out of any game.
One more shout out to
rarely been done
to Leaf Warrior, Soj King, and Biakai for winning the DKO tournament that they had there.
Hey.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh yeah, I did not watch it, but I did see some videos on Twitter about it, and it seemed pretty cool.
The milk drinkers did well. I forget who was casting it, but I think it was J-Mac, but was like making some subtle jokes about it too, about their name being the milk drinkers. It was great.
Was it Isaiah casting too? I remember seeing Isaiah out there.
Isaiah rocked out with the casting during the DKO tournament.
I'm not sure about the whole tournament if he was casting, but I because I didn't see the whole thing, but I know he was doing what is it, the
like desk work.
He was doing
the
both.
desk during the last set.
He did both.
Was he doing both?
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. It's
he
cool
was
to see
doing
him
play-by-play. It was awesome.
I just don't remember like I said, I didn't catch it on Saturday, I just didn't remember what he was doing exactly on Sunday, aside from the desk work. But I do know it was JMac, I believe, also.
What else happened on Sunday?
Of course, you don't really know.
I
I
got
guess,
to-
yeah, that would make sense because they just do roll right into the desk, into the games, now that I think
Yep.
about it.
Yeah. So yeah, we got to witness the Kings lift up the trophy. It was crazy. I ran up to the stage with my sign. Everyone was going buck wild. Don't remember what happened directly. Oh, directly after that. Like Fro was mentioning with the event staff.
Yeah.
There were some lines with people like trying to meet like some like Dolson. I know was one of them. Some of like the people that work for High Res were still there, kind of talking to people. And so I go in line and talk to Dolson, and like the event staff immediately after the set basically was like kicking everybody out of the venue. They were like, "All right,
Mhm.
you're done. You're out. Get out. We're done. Like we're closing doors." I was like, okay."
I wanted to be like, technically the event should be open for at least right before the after party because they actually had a shuttle service that was supposed to pick people up at the venue and take them to the after party. That was part of the ticket. But they were just kicking everybody out at like and games were over at like what, 5? So it's
Yeah.
like
Well, yeah, because it was a 3-0, so it was a pretty quick set. So,
yeah. So I
but
wanted
yeah,
to be like, it was a best
Also-
of 5. We should have been able to stay for at least another hour. Like,
Yeah, also, like, Sunday was a bit of a disappointment completely on the arena.
yes, yeah, nothing
because
to
they
do with
also-
Hi-Res. It was all the event.
They had
staff
0
people at the
DKO
arena.
going on any of the computers.
And then they turned
They sh-
all the computers off before the finals started.
Yeah, like final started, computers off. And on top of that, even though all weekend long they had like an outside smoke area you could go. It's also where they had like the meet and greet and shit. Except for the last day, as soon as the game started, they locked those doors. And
Oof.
well, they locked them from the outside. You could still go out, but then you had to come back in through security to come back in to
Through
smoke.
security.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
It's like literally after all weekend being able to let people go out and smoke here and then come back in freely. It was very weird that for the finals.
Yeah, I'm wondering if somebody like jumped over one of the barricades to get in without a ticket or
Yeah.
something. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah, maybe.
But
Yeah, Sunday
even-
for like the event was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
I did get to meet Final K and PBM after the set was over in the venue.
Final case
That's
shorter
pretty
than you
cool.
expected.
He is a lot shorter than I expected.
Mhm.
PBM super cool guy. I mean, as you expect, I feel like he's kind of made that known. He's big personality, but he's really cool. Final K, yeah, a lot smaller in person than I thought he was gonna be. I know he's big into the gym and stuff, and he's not that tall or like big. No, I'm not trying to like shit on Final K. He's a super cool dude as well.
He's
just
very
not what I was
fit.
expecting.
He's very fit.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just not a big guy.
Just not what I was expecting. I was expecting not like Dolson level, but like similar, right? Nobody's on Dolson's level.
Yeah.
But I also when I saw Fight K, I was talking to him and he was like, I was like, don't take this the wrong way, but I watch a lot of your YouTube videos to fall asleep to, and he's like, oh, I get that a lot actually. He's like, it's kind of cool. It makes me feel like you're comfortable with me being in your bed. And I was like, oh yeah, you can come to my bed. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, let me know.
Damn it, Riggs.
It's one of
It was-
those. Like, oh God, we're here now. He
It
wasn't
was an interesting
supposed to-
conversation too, because his fiance was right next to him too, Bria, and she was just watching this whole conversation take place.
Oh, gosh.
It was funny though. He's a cool dude. Both of them are. So then yeah, we got kicked out. Me and Fro were waiting out there. We ended up talking to Isaiah for a little bit. We ended up talking to
We
Dolson.
almost took off, but I'm like, no, fucking Riggs, come on, we're here. Because like we're
Yeah.
coordinating for dinner and all that, like Ubers, and I'm like, I'm not placing this Uber until you get to meet the people you want to meet.
Yeah. So met
Especially when the
Dolson,
lines were
met-
down to like 4 or 5 people long. It's like you can wait in these lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, met Dolson. Dolson's huge. awesome dude,
Oh
super
yeah, I
good
have a
looking.
picture with Wilson.
I showed I showed the picture of Dawson to my girlfriend. I was like, she's like, well, that is a attractive dude, and I was like, yeah, thanks. Oh, met
I've been saying
Isaiah,
this all episode.
Right.
met Mifflin. Mifflin was super cool.
Mifflin's
Me and
taller
Fro
than I
talked to him about the
expected.
podcast. Yeah, Mifflin's a big dude.
Like I
Mifflin
expect him
said
to
that
be like a
he,
5'9" type of guy. He's like 6'2". He's a tall
Oh,
guy.
damn.
yeah. Mifflin said that.
Well,
you
he's
know,
just
I
next to
wanna- I don't-
Dulcim all the time, so he doesn't seem tall, right?
Yeah.
I wonder where's mine. I'll post mine.
Oh,
Um,
there's Ness. Yeah.
Mifflin said it was cool that we do the podcast. We talked to him about the podcast. He was like, he appreciates the grassroots shit, quote
Heck
unquote.
yeah. Us-
I don't want to
us-
say we're
us
gonna get
stealing
these
the
people
Smite
on.
tagline. Right.
I don't want to say we're gonna get these people on the podcast, but I did definitely talk to some people about potentially. And every time Fro was laughing because every time I mentioned it to them, I was like, "Yeah, we are actually the longest running Smite podcast."
Yes, yeah.
I would always say that, and I would specifically say, like, especially to Dolson, I was like, "Yeah, so if you want to come on, you can talk to Aggro about it because Aggro claimed that Backliners was, and so if you want to shit on Aggro, you can come on ours." She's like, "Oh yeah, any chance I get to do that to Aggro?" And I was like.
Oh yeah,
So-
thanks for reminding me. One of us on our on the podcast Twitter should help Dulcim.
Yeah, I'll probably try to coordinate with some people. We might be able to get
Yeah.
some guests on. We'll see.
We're long overdue for some
But-
guests because we did go
Yeah.
like damn near a year with like nothing.
Well, but to be fair, it's like for a while there, we were like only guests. So
Yeah, but that was like 3 years ago, Depp.
yeah, was it? Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Damn.
while ago.
No, really, it's just because like I don't want to say that we're out of the loop, but just like new round of content creators, right? And just
Yeah.
we haven't necessarily
We'll
met many
start-
of them.
We'll start using Nev's prestige to.
There we go. Yeah.
I didn't even
Her-
talk about the best part of Sunday, where I wore the snuggly Artemis onesie all day.
You did indeed wear that all day. I'm impressed because I feel like that'd be really warm.
It'd be real.
I was
in
actually
Texas.
pretty cozy because it was pretty windy on Sunday.
Oh.
Well, Nev's a
It definitely
the
was,
hoodie
yeah.
kind of lady, anyways, and you didn't have a hoodie with you, so it like balance out, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had a hoodie on Friday, but yeah.
Well, I got to meet Nika. That was pretty cool. He did not seem like he wanted to talk to anybody. So I appreciate him saying hi. And then yeah, me and Fro were waiting out there, and the Kings ended up coming out after they had won, so they were all freaking out, and people were like hyping them up and stuff. I went over there, took some more pictures with them, talked to them a little bit. Genetics, I was like, I told Genetics he should get MVP, and he was like, no, like I didn't do anything. Maui plays itself. Like I didn't have to do anything. I was like, go, dude, shut the fuck up. Like you're crazy. And yeah, then we went to get food, and then that was SWC.
I got two things to touch on that I forgot about. On Friday, when I got there, they were handing out different signs for the different teams. I was like,
Fans.
hey,
They were
this-
fans because it was Worlds with fans.
well, yeah. I went to the Valkyries because I'm like, hey, yo, this looks cool as fuck, right? Because I'm biased, whatever.
Mhm.
Can't
So I
surprise,
picked that one
Fro
up.
likes the Norse themed one.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is cool as fuck. Like, I'm gonna keep it. Then I actually lost mine too, which is a shame. I don't know where it
Oh.
went. But then Riggs, I was like, hey, what other one should I grab? He's like, here, you should grab this Scarab one. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll grab this Scarab one. So I'm rocking up with the Valks and the Scarab, the two teams that didn't actually make it to Worlds.
Yep.
Savage.
Oh, shut.
and
forgot
I
about
want to
this,
bring up
dude.
real quickly, why the fuck are the Mambas and the Ravens logos so much better than all the pro team logos? They are
For real,
They are
though?
top
Like, for real,
quality.
though?
They are great.
Yeah.
Like, I became a Ravens fan after seeing that logo because I'm like, again, biased, but that is fucking dope as shit. That is dope. And
Yeah.
the same with the Mambas. I'm like, all right. I know it's the skulls, and I'm kind of edgelordy at times, but that is fucking cool as shit.
I
Oh,
mean, you
also
can't deny that
when they
Hex
animate
Mambo
the
is not
logos.
the coolest name.
No, Hex Mamba is Mambo is like cool as shit.
Yeah.
That's definitely the coolest name.
When they animated the logos, though, I do got to
Mhm.
say the bolts they fucked up because now they just have it like power fisting in the air, and it looks Dep. It really does look like it though.
Bro, coming in with the power fist.
Dude, it just is sitting there grabbing on the shaft of that bolt, just fucking power fisting up and down. It's like, they could have thought about that one a little better. I mean, they ain't shake weighting, but it's still pretty bad.
I want to do one more quick thing because it's been a long time. But speaking of the Valks, we were sitting with Bryce and all them, and I did not realize at the time, but where we were sitting, there was actually a lot of like pro players / like content creators sitting kind of near us too. And Bryce is asking because he doesn't pay attention to like more recent SPL stuff, so he was like asking like, oh, like what's this team, like the Ravens and the Mambo and stuff. He's like, oh, like what's up with this team, like who are they? And so I was telling him, I was like, yeah, the Ravens and Mambo are in because at the play-ins, the Valkyries, who were the SPL team, and the Scarabs, they shit the bed, but like the Valkyries really shit the bed. Like they did not play it good at all. And I was like talking to all this shit about the Valkyries. And I look forward, and a row in front of me, Benny Q sitting in front of me, Gamma sitting in front of me,
No.
Wowie's sitting in front of me, and I was like, oh no. So I'm just shit talking the Valkyries while they're sitting right in front of me. And then later on, when I met Final K, Wowie and his girlfriend, fiance, wife, I'm not sure, were also there. And I felt real weird being like, hey, Final K, can you sign this? I want to talk to Final K, like, get a picture of Final K. And Wowie's sitting right there. And I was like, hey, Wowie, do you want to sign this too? I mean, I'm sure Wowie's a cool dude. I'm not like a Wowie fan particularly, so I was just like, I just felt really bad being like only asking Final K, not Wowie. So I was like, here you go, Wowie, you can sign this too. He's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty funny. That was SWC, unless anybody has.
After party was a lot of
crazy.
fun. I don't remember half of it. That's all I have to say about the after party.
That sounds about right.
See, I feel like I should have went to this after party this
I
year.
did not get any of the leaked rosters, but I did talk to Dolson for probably about a solid 10 minutes. I talked with Trelly Relly, I talked with Alpha Jackal, I met Paul. Anything after that I don't remember.
See, I feel like this is the year I should have went to the after party because like the last couple of ones I went to, they're all right. But like Dep went with me to the one. It was like, yeah, it was all right. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, it was nothing crazy.
But then this one, it seems like it actually was like fun. It's like,
it
fuck.
was actually pretty decent.
Damn.
It was at a barcade, so there was a bunch of stuff you could do.
Oh yeah, that one was at a barcade.
Yeah, but I think it's because it wasn't at Atlanta where half the people's fucking houses were. There's actually like more of them actually went to it.
Went to it.
Oh yeah, and when I was in line, I was talking to Hazer for like 5 minutes, and then somebody at the venue was like, "Oh wait, you're like VIP, you're like super VIP," and so they let Hazer cut everybody and get inside. So
That's like the one person I wish I was able to talk to more was Hazer. He did like a meet and greet at this bar that the same time we went to the escape room, so I didn't get to go. But
yeah, no, he was
would've
super
been cool.
chill. I mean, we just sit there and talked for a little bit, and super cool.
All right, guys.
Yes.
So, do we want to talk about the new season, or
I mean, we could just do what we normally do and just do one thing we like and one thing we don't like, because again, nobody wants us to sit here and read all of it, but it's also a really hefty patch because it's the very beginning of the new year. So.
But also, co-host Blaze McBain made a video where he goes through it for us.
That's true. That's true.
I might link
watch that video.
I might link that on the YouTube.
Excellent. You know what? That tells me Fro Double G is editing this week. That's what.
I mean, I haven't edited in like I haven't done it in a bit. It probably is my turn, honestly.
I was 2 weeks ago, and Depp edited the Challenger episode, which, by the way, thanks again for.
I don't know if you can call that an edit. I heard it. He just slapped the two together. Didn't even put a fucking outro song on. I'm surprised there's an
Listen,
intro.
Backlash-
I'm surprised that it doesn't
Backlash
start
is
off with
really
him
easy.
saying, "Here's the fucking episode," and then it just goes.
Yeah, Backlash made it real easy. Didn't even use his audio, so just
Didn't
two
even
people
use his
there.
audio. 5 minutes. Okay, come in with a little interruption. We're good.
My favorite part about that is Backlash's audio lasted long enough for him to say the last time he was on an episode, and then it stopped.
Yes.
Oh, the last time I was on was a
And
couple
he's
years
gone.
ago, and stop.
Yeah, I edited
All right, see you again.
246, 247 was Dep, so yeah,
Yeah.
248 is gonna be Fro.
Yeah.
But no, what I was saying is, like, do we just want to do the quick where we touch on it, and then
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
come back with it next
There's-
week more like,
There's a
because the
couple
patch will be
things Dep
out
loves.
by, or the map will be out
Should
by
be.
next week, right?
Right.
Should be.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Drops
we'll be able
Tuesday,
to come
which is
in.
yesterday when you're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say just do like,
so-
like a brief, like what we normally do.
What we're excited for, and then we can come back with the following week with what we loved because it'll be out by then.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Plus, we're like an hour 20 in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wants to go for season 10?
You do,
Season
Riggs.
X.
Actually, I will. I will.
That-
I'll
that
go
can go.
first.
It's actually
Alright.
year 10 because there are
Oh, yeah, you're
4
right, year 10.
seasons.
Surtur. Fucking Surtur. That is dope.
Surtur.
I've been saying I
Yeah.
want Fire Giant Surtur. Everyone keeps saying how they won't bring Surtur in, and I've been
Oh, it'll
saying
never
like they won't
happen,
because
and
the
then
Fire
no, it's
Giant
happening.
until
Yeah.
and I've been saying that they won't unless they do something about the Fire Giant. And hey, what do you know?
Right.
New Fire Giant,
So
new
now
map.
they're doing
New
something
Surtur.
with Fire
Giant,
Giant.
yep.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Dude, also, shout out to the cinematic they showed for it. That cinematic was sick.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And shout out to the guy that as soon as the cinematic, he's holy shit in the audience.
Yeah.
It was that was pretty good. But yeah, pretty dope.
And then a negative Fro, if there's a negative even.
Yeah.
Anything
You're not a fan of?
My only negative I have so far actually has to do from me playing the map. So I don't know if we want to necessarily count that.
Yeah.
Because I
I'm-
didn't really read the patch. So
Yeah, I imagine there's a lot to work out too still. So
I guess I'll just bring it up. It is somewhat annoying that you can accidentally basically run into their tower in mid lane, like because of the map pathing. Like if you're not really paying attention or used to the old map, like you can accidentally just fucking run into their tower. It's like whoops.
I got lost in the jungle like 7,000 times when I played on PTS.
I love how the buff camps you actually have to walk into a little bit.
Yeah.
But on the same hand, if you're not really paying attention, I have like been caught and like walked way the fuck out of my way. It's like whoops.
Yeah.
well, that's good. Changing up pathing. That's
Yeah,
not
it's definitely
inherently a negative, you know.
No. Like I said, it's not necessarily something bad from the patch or anything. It's just
Yeah.
from playing. And again, I haven't really read too much into it, and I'm never really opposed to any crazy changes, especially at the start of a season. So let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what changes I'm pretty hyped for. I'm pretty hyped for that dang aura anti-crit or crit damage reduction. I'm here for it. I've been saying we need it. We finally got it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Finally, your
And
support
then-
can help with crit.
right.
That's great.
Yes. And I kind of like where they're going with the new class bonuses.
Hell yeah.
I think that's, you know, like the for a
Can you
while it seemed
elaborate
like
on that real
wow,
quick?
everyone's kind of the same and like the base
Mhm.
stats are just like it's gotten stale, so it's like something to really distinguish each class on its own and help with itemization and
Will you touch
not
on that real
having to
quick?
build certain things. Yeah, let me pull up exactly where it is because damn, there's a lot going on with this
Yeah,
patch, let me
I'm
tell ya.
just curious because I heard mention of the class bonus, and there's
Right,
like I just
so-
kind of assumed that like, hey, they're probably gonna buff in like the corresponding like stats, but I don't know exactly what it was.
Yeah,
That's
so
exactly what it is, bro.
Warriors get CDR 5% at level 1 up to 10% at level
Is
10.
Is this a conquest thing, or they'll just innately have it
Class.
always?
Class.
in-
It's a
bonus.
class
specific.
passive,
Class
basically.
specific.
Like
pass,
every class will have this.
additional buff.
Right.
They're
So all warriors
scaling.
essentially will have 10% CDR at level 10. So they only need to build.
Oh, at level 20.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
level
So
20,
they only need to build 30.
30 to get to max.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Love it.
Correct.
Assassins have a bonus 5 plus
It's like penetration, right?
yeah, physical pen. They get
I'd say,
physical pen.
yeah,
5
I'd
at
say I don't
level
think we need to go
1
like
to
into
10 at
we don't need
level
to go
20.
into the
It's not
numbers. We could just say
huge.
like what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Mages get bonus magical power. Guardians get CCR, and hunters have a scaling basic attack damage bonus. Although they did nerf hunters a little bit and reduce their initial basic attack, I think for this reason.
That would make sense though.
So
Because if I remember correctly, hunters did have a higher base
mhm.
auto attack damage in general compared to everyone else. So to make it scaling,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And
No,
and they
I'm with it. I'm with
changed
it.
up magical protection scaling a little bit and where the different classes start off. But
I don't know if I like the assassin one though, mainly because like a lot of pen items are already really good for them, so it might be almost more limiting.
so many items are changing with
Yeah,
regard
that's
to
fair.
pen and everything. Like
That's
I
fair.
think it's one of those things where it's like there's so many changes happening. We kind of have to see how stuff shakes out.
Right. We're just going off from the past though, right? Taking someone
Yeah.
like Thanatos for example, and I don't know how much pen it is. Probably not too much, 10 at max or something, right? So it's probably not crazy, but
Well, if
It
I mean,
does-
like at this point with his 2, and if you get 10 pen at level 20, I think he's maxing on flat pen without
He's,
items.
I think it's 45
well,
if he has his 2 and he gets 10 flat. It's like
I
35,
was
right?
just using him as an example of an assassin
Right.
that has
Well,
flat
I'm
pen.
just saying it's
right.
like at that point Thanatos could only build like percent pen items and be like max pen with his 2 active and not have to worry about that as like a stat.
Now that you say that out loud, this might bubble the shit out of Thanatos, like the dirty bubble. Ooh. Anyways, I just think maybe like movement speed would have been all right. I mean, I can see why, because movement speed sometimes can be seen as a useless
movement
stat.
speed can be no, but if it's
Movement speed would be OP.
it's
I feel
so
like
huge. It's so
that's
it's
that'd be
so
really
big.
impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, assassins already have a higher base movement speed, anyways, right? That's kind of part of their thing.
Yeah. And then the change that I guess I'm not looking forward to is they nerfed 3 gods, but they buffed so fucking many gods that I don't think needed buffs. I'm always on the side of like nerf the top performers as opposed to like buffing everyone else. So
Well, they did a little bit of both. They nerfed pretty much every god that was picked a ton at Worlds, and then they also buffed gods that don't get picked much. So they kind
It's
of
pretty.
both.
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
Yeah.
there's just so many gods getting buffs. It's fucking wild.
Well,
Nope.
what kind of buffs are we talking
Beginning of the
about? Are
year.
they all like 5 power? You know,
No,
Melee
Artemis is
melee.
getting an
buffs?
additional trap. I'm very excited.
Yeah, that I
Baka
remember you
one will
saying.
heal him now.
Baka doing
So-
what?
Bacchus
Baka's one. When he chugs,
Bacchus.
it'll heal him now.
It'll
Okay, so
heal
these
him.
are big changes, big buffs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ability
Yeah.
changes.
Hercules buff driving strike base damage increased and
Not-
his
Oh,
mitigate
His
wounds
3,
Gives
yeah,
attack
his,
speed now.
and
gives
movement
him
speed.
attack speed and it's got a decreased cooldown.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
basically
Herc
just
3
like,
gives him crazy attack speed.
Herc got a huge buff. But yeah, it's like shit like that. It's like I don't know if he needed that really. Like Hercules performs well enough in my mind.
Yeah, you don't have
it
the
doesn't,
numbers,
it
though.
doesn't
Anyways.
have movement speed. I misunderstood. Sorry. It's just attack
I mean,
speed.
but
Attack
you're
speed.
I'm
always
not gonna lie, I
gonna
was
buy
really
regrowth,
excited
so,
for
I
that
mean,
movement speed
Well,
because
no,
I'm
you're
like,
not,
yo,
because
double
aren't they
regrowth.
getting rid of regrowth?
It's having a shift,
They've
but I think the
shifted it to
capacity's
be a
the same.
breastplate now, so now
Oh,
it has
yeah.
Prost instead of health, but it's basically
Okay.
the same thing. If anything, it's better in my opinion. But
Yeah, it's probably better because then now I'm more apt to pick it up. Because a lot of times
Yeah.
that item fought with items like Relic Dagger, Stone of Gaia, Mail of Renewal. No, they added prots to Mail of Renewal. Your other like solo health items.
Right.
Or health with no prot item. Frostbound hammers.
Mm.
Yeah, okay.
hell yeah. I'll go next. I have 2 little ones for the buff ones. I think it's gonna be cool that you can leash the buff camps now wherever you want.
Mhm.
You can just
Yeah,
take
I like
a
that a
wild
lot.
journey across the map if you really want to.
I was
It's-
able
it's
to.
re-
I
It's
was
really
able
weird
to
to get
hit.
used to.
I was able to hit level 2 before I got to my lane, which was great.
Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be some really funky starts. I've already seen some start to develop where like you'll pull blue buff and speed buff to the bat camps and then split all three of them and do the bat camps at the same time. And it's some weird shit's gonna happen. I feel like,
So
but I think it's
essentially the
fun. You can
same that I found with mid. It was like we pulled
green and red, right?
we pulled me and a random jungle. We pulled red back to bat camps and cleared both of those at the same time, and then I popped an AoE ability over to yellow or speed buff for the jungler. And I was like I
Yeah.
said, before I even reached my lane, I was already level 2. The Anubis and mid had no idea what the heck was going on. He was very confused.
Yeah, you can do some funky stuff with it. I'm excited to mess around with that. And then another Deb took two of mine, so I
Yeah.
didn't reach out for this one. The hybrid items getting changed. I'll go into it's a buff. It's a positive and a negative for me. If you did not see, they essentially their big shift for season 10 items was hybrid. They wanted to look at hybrid items because they're either really good or really bad. And so they basically changed the shield tree, like the glad shield tree, and the what's the one for magical, like the void stone tree,
Mm-hmm.
to make them
In chat for Voidstone, by the way.
being yeah, they basically you can both of those trees are now being able to you can buy them as any class now because they don't have power on them anymore. They just changed the passives to be a lot stronger. So now you can buy Glad Shield as a guardian, and you can buy Stone of Binding tier 3 now as a warrior if you want. Like you can mess around, have some fun with that. I think that's gonna be really fun. It might be some gods are gonna abuse it. I feel like Ardia with Glad Shield is gonna be annoying.
Yeah, that's
right?
gonna be
She has
dumb.
a bajillion abilities. Basically just like Arthur has been doing it for a while now. Ardia can have some fun.
Yo,
at
I'm
the
not
same
gonna
time,
lie. I'm excited for that.
it's gonna be fun.
For the Ardio walking up to an Arthur in lane and being like, "Remember 2 years ago, motherfucker? I bought Glad Shield this time, you son of a bitch."
Right.
Yeah. Now,
And he's just sitting there not being able to whirly bird, being stunned out of all his ability. Like, no, mama, leave me alone.
At the same time, the reason why I think it's a little bit of a negative too is those items having power on them helped out a lot in the early game with clearing jungle camps, clearing minions and whatnot. Like they never had a ton of power, but a little bit of power helped a lot.
Right.
Now, what I've been seeing and what I played a little bit of PTS is those hybrid items not having power anymore makes, especially in solo, you really struggle to clear things because the jungle camps are tankier, the minions are pretty tanky. You don't have any power anymore because the items you would normally go don't have power anymore, so you really struggle to do much early.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone seems tankier now. So like, for example, if you were to buy Glad Shield before, it had a little bit of power and some prots. Now it doesn't have any power, so they up the prots. So now they're tankier whenever they get it, and you do less damage to each other. So there's not as much like kill potential in solo at least. And you also take longer to clear stuff. I feel like it's gonna be kind of annoying.
But
So
that can be
we'll see where it ends
tweaked
up.
with messing with starters, right?
Yeah,
Because if you can
right
make
now,
the
Bluestone
solo
is really
starters,
good because it helps clear.
right? If you can make solo starters a little better to help compensate for that, until the warriors can put a few more points into their abilities, right? And they'll be getting some free cooldowns along the way. Granted, not much and slowly.
Yeah,
It will help compensate. Yeah, that is a good point. I didn't think about that when you initially said it because I was all for it. But yeah, that will kind of slow the clear.
yeah, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's fun that now you can experiment. You can buy like stone because they made Stone of Binding a tier 3 now. You can buy that on like warriors and proc CC and do a lot more damage. But then like you can also buy Glad Shield on like in the PTS or not in PTS in when they showed it at Worlds, like they showed like they played a game of Conquest on the map, and I forget who was playing solo, but he had Glad Shield on Jormungandr, and it looked really weird. But it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. I'm excited for the change. Whether it's fun, it'll be fun to mess around with it, but I'm also a little nervous to see how it ends up making Warriors and Guardians feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nev.
I like the different shard options. I probably will still
Mhm.
go Vision Shard for a little bit. But I do like being able to have that option to try something different. And I did utilize a couple of them during PTS testing this past week. So
The
yeah,
power one seems fun. I've
the
seen people
power,
use it
pa-
on like the first wave to get like a little
Yeah.
advantage.
yeah, the power one was pretty good. I think I used that to help me clear that same game where I was talking about being level 2 before I even reached the lane. But yeah, no,
Did you
so
see
I
these, Fro?
really like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
different
I used
shards.
the attack speed one as Loki to help me clear level
Mhm.
1 because I used my
yeah.
abilities right to. I forget if we did the first 2 camps together, and then yeah, I was on cooldown for the third one that I went to go get the back camp, and I just
Nice.
smashed the attack speed one for that, so I could drop those real quickly. I used it to take out the 2 littles, so they didn't damage the shit out of me, right? And then when my ability was able to come back in time, I could hit the big with that. Because, by the way, if you're able to, you get your 1. If you have someone help you clear, get your 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I liked it. I don't know if that's necessarily like the meta or anything. I was just like scrolling through them.
I
I'm like,
wonder-
sure, this one will work. But well, someone real quickly, I do have a big question.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the point of getting the regular vision shard now? Like I was just reading it real quickly, like in game. So like I'm clearly missing something. Like, does it have the
Vision
shorter
shard
cooldown or what?
No, Vision Shard is unchanged. I
It's
just
still
like
just
it.
a free ward.
I still just like
It's
it for
always
the
good.
free ward. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, free
Oh,
ward's
the other
always
one's
good.
not
You can
drop a
use it to
ward.
like.
No, the other
No,
ones
the other
do not
ones
use
don't drop wards. They're
Oh, I
just
guess
like
I wasn't paying
consumables now.
attention to
It's-
that then.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I wonder then if people are gonna go, because there's the one that gives you the power. I wonder if people are gonna try and combo that with Bracer for early kills.
Maybe.
Just
I mean,
saying.
I'm always a big fan of giving more options to players, especially
Mhm.
early, to do
Mhm.
things. So
Yep.
giving more options with shards is always fun.
Yeah.
But now you can't bitch about your teammates not warding because now they can't. Now you can be like, oh, you had a free ward. Now they might not have a free ward. So,
Right.
Yeah, I must have just missed that part where the other ones weren't wards, because I was always
Yeah.
holding mine
Yeah.
for the attack speed buff, right? And whenever I popped it, it's like I was clearly fighting some, not really paying attention whether or not I wasn't using it for a ward. So that makes sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I mean, there's
That's
essentially
what I'm
like
missing.
little power pots now.
Mhm. And
That
one
makes me
change
like
I
them
do
even
need-
better. I like it. I love it.
More options.
Well, it's more
What?
options, but it's like you have to give up getting a ward, right? So it's like I like the
Yeah.
whole like I'm drawing a blank on what the fuck the actual word is. Not sacrifice, but like yeah, like you have to sacrifice something. You have to give up something.
Yeah. Give something up. Yeah. Make a choice.
The risk. There we go.
There you go. Risk reward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, what's your negative? Sorry, every time you want to go say it, we
It's
had a
fine.
new thought.
I apologize.
The one thing I don't like is bringing back the penalty for if you do not accept a queue, you get a deserter penalty.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, that's weird.
Well,
Yeah.
because that's the way the queuing system works because they've brought multi-queue back, which is great. But the only way that they're making it work is if basically they're like we
Yeah.
are able to do multi-queue because when you press Q, you are indicating to us that you are ready to play as soon as possible. So, because you are not accepting this queue, you're trying to dodge it, and therefore we're punishing you for it.
Yeah.
But I get the theory behind it, but as a content creator that enjoys playing games with viewers, there might be a little bit of a stream delay. They might not know that I'm queuing. I'm the party leader. We queue. They stepped away. Their mom's talking to them. They had to go to the bathroom, whatever.
If-
They miss queue. Now they have a 5-minute deserter penalty because I didn't know they weren't ready.
I mean, hey,
You know
be
what I mean?
ready. Be ready. If you're playing in someone's stream, be ready. I don't know what to say.
Well, it's not just
Unfortunately,
that. It's
yeah.
not. No, it's not just that. Like B. B is a regular in my viewer games, but they play on console, so there's a little bit of a delay for them to get out of the game in order to queue a new one. So we've missed queues before because B hasn't fully loaded back to lobby when I start to requeue. Does
Oh.
that make sense? So I
mean,
don't think it's fair to punish B for
That's
not.
a good Nev. One right there. This.
I don't think it's
It-
I don't think it's fair to punish B because I didn't realize that they hadn't made it back to lobby yet. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because console's always been a little bit behind PC. Like when you play with people on console, it takes them
Yeah.
like longer to load into like you'll already have like a god picked, and they'll be finally loading into the lobby.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
like
that
vice
one
versa.
100% should be on high res, because if my teammate isn't out of the game fully loaded, you should not allow me to queue.
To queue.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you should
Exactly.
indicate to me, at the bare minimum, indicate to me that they're not ready. Right?
Yeah.
So I get
think
what
it
you're
should
saying.
be like a ready up system. I think you should have a ready up system if you're in a party. You
Yeah,
ready
I
up,
mean,
and
that would make
then
sense.
There you go.
you can queue. Does that make sense? So
Well, when you get Olympian, you
No,
make
we
sure to
don't-
fucking pass that
yeah,
feedback
Yeah,
on.
pass that
Yeah, when you're
along. That's a
Olympian.
huge. That's huge, Nev. New
yeah,
running
well,
point.
if I
voted
get
in.
Olympian, that will be one of the things I will bring up.
I mean,
Listen,
you've
guys,
already
we
got
gotta-
us
we gotta
cooldowns.
Save this. We gotta save this if we don't make it. We gotta save this for Bachi. It'd be a recommendation that we put forward and be
That's
like
true.
Bachi making changes.
Oh, yeah.
Write that down. Write that down.
It's our idea. Copyright. Copyright. January 22nd.
It's 2.5
forgot one more
years
quick
later.
thing.
I'm still shaking my stick waiting for different console layouts.
Hmm.
Mhm.
One more quick thing I hate about this patch. They made Totem look like shit, dude.
Well,
Totem
because
is
it's
so
not
ugly.
coup. It's not coup anymore.
No, that's fine. Like they can change the design of it, but
Oh, is it
also
stew?
it's so
Were they
hard
yelling
to tell.
stew?
It, it's so hard to tell.
I
It's
had
so
you,
hard to
sorry.
tell when you're filling it up and when your enemy's filling it up. Because like I put a picture of it in host chat or
Yeah.
the show notes. Like the way it fills up is so weird. And if you're on the other side of it, like if you both are fighting for it, you can't see how far their progress is.
Yeah.
And vice versa. You can't see how far. And there's not like a clear indication. It fills up the skull all the way, but like
Mhm.
it's a little weird to like tell because it's not just like a straight bar, you know.
Yeah.
They put it in
Like
show
on the,
notes.
at least on
Where at?
old coup, it was a little easier to like tell because it was just a straight line bar. You could kind of tell who was clearing it faster,
Mhm.
and you could see
Like
both.
down the middle.
Oh.
You can see both
Oh,
sides, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
okay.
That's the new coup.
Yeah, I was
your
looking
side
for
fills
another
up, and
picture.
the
I
other
was
side
looking
fills
for
up.
another picture because you're like, it fills up. I'm like, well, what the fuck's filling up though? I don't see anything. But I
Yeah,
guess
like the
yeah, I
weirdly
guess that's
faint blue
kind
right
of
there.
the point, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, I'm sure whatever the design, make it skulls, whatever it fits the design of the new map. But like, I feel like we could do a better job of making it more clear on who's hitting
Yeah.
it, how much is
Yeah.
filling up, like how much you have left of it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they could do better with that.
The way they had it on the last one was just so well done.
Yeah.
I
That's perfect.
understand
You could
wanting to change
very
how it
clearly
looks.
see.
Yep. But the system and the design they had for it with the bar, the way that it faced, and you could see that
Yeah.
worked well. Take that,
Uh-huh.
apply it to a new aesthetic. This
Yeah.
this doesn't look good.
Because if I'm on the right side, like where the Arthur is in this picture, if I'm more to the right there, I can't see how much the progress is on the other side for them. So I can't see who's winning the totem fight if we're both
Well-
fighting for it.
Well, even on that, this inherently, like with all the fucking red in that area, how easy is it going to be to lose their progress? And then where's
Yeah.
the top of this bar? When's it full? The top of the skull?
Yeah, it's like
Because-
at the very top of the skull is when it's.
Well, are we going the top of the skull? Or are we going top of the rings? Because the rings are taller up than the skull, or higher up.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. It's
And even then, are we going to the
Exactly.
top of the bone colored part of the ring? Because the ring or that ring's got another ring on it that actually goes up even more pixels. Is the top of that like what the? I don't like this. I don't like it.
yeah,
Fuck
it's-
solo
it's
lane.
goofy.
Careful, Fro. Your boomer is showing.
I
That's
don't like
not
this
bad.
because it's new. I don't like it because it's poorly designed.
It's
Yeah,
badly
yeah,
designed.
no,
It's-
I'm not
messing
about
with
new,
you.
this map is
I'm messing
amazing.
with you.
Like I'm all for it. I've played a game on it. I had a fucking blast. Like I'm all for it. I love new stuff and changes in games. If this was the same game I was playing 5 years ago, I would not be playing it still. I would have moved on to a better functioning game.
Yeah, I think it's
That
like
looked
beyond
prettier,
ground.
by
Shout
the
out to
way.
shout out to the map.
Yeah, shout out to
the map.
The map is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the fire giant entrance is so beautiful. You can just see him walking and like crawling and oh my god.
You see him like go to his little cave in solo lane. He like
Yeah.
dives into the lava and like pops
yeah,
up.
it's so cool. I gotta find the clip of it. It's so beautiful.
But yeah, that's season 10. Sorry, year 10. Season 1, year 10.
Season 1, yeah. That so if you did not read, there will be 4 distinct seasons this year. So
What's your guys' over under on one of the seasons being called the season of cum?
Under.
0%.
0 is the under.
You telling me there's a chance though?
0. There's no chance. But speaking of season 10, this isn't in the show notes, but God predictions based on the teasers.
I need to watch the teaser.
Yeah,
Damn.
I know people are talking about Manticore being one of them. That's the only one I've seen.
Like
being,
Manticore or Chimera or something is one, because season of monsters, so they want monsters, right?
Yeah,
Just
I feel
for
like that's a whole
that's
that's a
that's
whole
just-
nother episode.
Yeah.
All right,
So
all right.
we're
We'll
like-
save it. We'll
like
save it.
2 hours.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
If we're doing one just on monsters, that means we can open up our lore to just fucking monsters more.
Yeah,
I know we
Yeah,
kind of
well,
already did that
like-
with our folkler, but now we can
that's
just
like
be
the
like
tagline for
full
season
hard
10,
step.
like season of monsters, right?
Nev,
Well,
Wi-Fi high
season
five.
1, year 10.
Whatever.
Because season 3 for year 10, they haven't announced it, but it's season of cum.
No,
So
it's not.
Jesus Christ.
The monsters
and
have
the
come.
god that comes out, it's gonna be the milk drinker. The milk.
Well,
slipper.
if you want, I can bring in. Well, God, that would fit that.
Let's
Yeah,
not.
and it's gonna be announced by Leaf
Leave
Warrior.
Well, Depp, you do know the whole story why the Milky Way is called the Milky Way Galaxy, right?
Lots of cum.
It involves breast milk.
Okay, okay, we need to do the. So thank you. Oh, also, by the way, I won the CC last time. I don't give a fuck what you guys say. You guys are idiots.
No, you lost. Give that to Brett.
So Season of Monsters is 10.1 and 10.2. Then it will become the Season of Hope, which is going to be 10.3 through 10.5.
Boo.
And then season of cum
It's not. Oh my
And-
god! It's blue.
and blue cum. Like, it's like blue
Aliens.
milk.
Nibiru.
You don't have thank yous, Fro?
I do
Probably
have
at
thank you.
least.
I mean, I was waiting for you to
Okay,
pass it to me, but you were just letting him go.
No,
That was
Riggs
awesome.
tried to throw it to you, and you dodged it.
Did
Yeah,
I?
So now
I
started
totally
talking
missed
about
that.
cum more.
Yeah, he's trying
got
to
distracted.
talk about thank yous, please.
I
Thank
tried.
you to all of our wonderful patrons. Aerial Steel, Asbestos Dog, Breeze, my guy, hit me up. Bryce Chia Son, Breeze Cheeson.
Bryce Chia. Brett.
You're about to be Bryce Chia Pet. Just for my
Just
sanity.
saying.
Weatherman Keith, Jade Flag in Baseball, Griff, Bombi, Danny, Caveman Neo, Coffin Monkey, City Arlets, Gilly, Snorlax, Weatherman, Adios, Sir Ember, K Brojo, Famous Freak. Did I say that right? K Brojo? Anyways, Famous Freak, Stoffmeister, Backlash, Saydowns, Dr. Godfucker, Lantern, Reese, Warlordio, Batskit, Echo Dunk, Doc, Necros, Otterjoe, Riggs, Dracon Prime, Glen Wiggle, Granite Boys, Camel Hoss, Void vs. Void, Enbright, Sloppy Satch, Scion Gemini, Batman, Sandman, Aquasoft, Kilowatt Man, I'm a Hater, Mr. Man, Colorado, Amberbug, Folk Hero, and the Big Red. Thank you all very much.
Thank you all.
Chia
Yeah.
Pet.
Bryce Chia Pet. It's
Serious heart hands.
oh, Nev's not on video, but you can see these.
You won't see us on the Conquest map because that's getting retired, but you will see us on the new one.
Hey. No, you won't see me unless I'm playing with Riggs. So
Hell yeah.
there's that. Riggs, we should play some Conquest.
Hell yeah.
I'm down.
Might be,
I'm
it
always
might be
down.
season 10. I might make my appearance now because everything's
the new
it's
map
wild.
is so fun,
the Wild
and not
West.
to mention
Wild
it's not
West.
so punishing early game. It felt like I made a few mistakes. Granted, everyone was making mistakes new map, but
Yeah.
I wasn't just shoved into the ground.
Listen, I'll hop on grab my chalk if you guys want to play season 10 Conquest.
Listen,
You don't want to feel like you're in
I'll
lobbies you
end this
can't handle.
podcast. Goodbye.
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 I have stopped recording.